It's time to talk temps. In this training video, we're going to show you just how easy it is to take sample temperatures of perishables while rescuing food for your organization. This is a requirement for agencies participating in food rescue, but is good knowledge for all agencies to have. Taking temperatures will make it easy to ensure that food is within a safe range to eat while it makes its way through our hunger relief network. We want you to feel empowered in knowing that the food you rescue is safe to share with your clients. It's also our responsibility as hunger relief organizations to provide safe, responsibly handled food to our community. We want to feed people with dignity and have them trust that the quality will always stay the same, and that the food they receive will be safe to share with their families. Some examples of perishable foods are milk, eggs, dairy products like yogurt and cheese, whole produce and sliced fruits and veggies, prepared foods, and all meat. We want to take extra precautions when handling these types of foods, including taking sample temperatures. By taking temperatures, we can make safe choices that protect our clients from foodborne illness. For refrigerated foods, we're looking for a temp 41 degrees or lower. For frozen foods, we're just looking to make sure that these products are frozen solid. It's important to remember that perishables must be staged, transported, and held at a safe temperature appropriate to their relevant food item. Let's get into what this will look like during rescues. All perishable foods should come directly from the cooler or freezer. We don't want to accept refrigerated or frozen foods that have been sitting out for an unknown amount of time. So if you watch the perishable foods coming out, you can just log the temperature reading that's visible on the thermostat outside of the unit. You'll want to record the temperature, the name of the donor, the date of the rescue, the type of product, and time of pickup, as well as any other notes that may be relevant on the temp log. Please let us know if perishables are not seen coming directly from a cooler or freezer. At no time should this food be left waiting on a loading dock. But if the food is not seen coming from the cooler or freezer, or maybe the donor mentioned they just staged it for you, you can use a food thermometer to take the temperature. You only need to select one perishable food item to monitor and record that temp on the log. You do not need to take temperatures of all perishables that you are receiving. The process really is that simple. So what if the food temps are in the danger zone at the donor location? You should consider declining the donation and explain why you are not able to accept it. You can also encourage the donor to contact the SLO Food Bank Food Rescue Team if they have any questions. Don't forget, the clock starts ticking for the product the moment it leaves the cooler. And it's typically assumed that temperature abuse hasn't occurred at any point during the product's life cycle. But keep in mind that temperature abuse can have a cumulative effect on food safety. Use passive temperature control methods like thermal blankets when rescuing perishables to help slow down temp changes during transportation. Now that you're back at your pantry, it's time to quickly process the donation and place perishables in the refrigerator or freezer. If possible, unload and process the refrigerated and frozen products before the shelf-stable items. So, part of processing the donation will now include taking a sample temperature. If you use the thermostat reading at the donation site, then choose any one of the perishable items and use the thermometer to take its temperature. If you initially used a food thermometer, be sure to choose the same item that you sampled earlier, and again use the thermometer to take its temp. Record the final temp and time on the same line on the log. Please also note that once this is rolled out, the food rescue team will be checking for the temp record-keeping log during our ADR site visits. So, what if food temps are in the danger zone upon returning to the pantry? If the food was frozen solid at the donor site but thawed during transportation, it can be refrozen so long as it is under 40 degrees upon arrival at the pantry site. The quality of product may suffer, but the food should still be safe to eat. However, if refrigerated or frozen items are above 42 degrees for more than 2 hours, you should discard those items as they are unsafe to eat. Remember to always inspect for signs of spoilage and document waste accordingly by weighing it separately and recording it as waste. For food that has been at a higher temperature for just a short time, like less than 2 hours, inspect it for any signs of spoilage, like off smells, sliminess, or discoloration. Be sure to add any of these relevant notes to the temperature log. And remember to store perishables in refrigerators or freezers before processing the rest of the donation. So now let's review how agency partners can keep food safe. Confirm perishables come from the cooler or freezer. Keep records of temperatures and use thermal blankets or other forms of passive refrigeration. Keep the time of food rescue trips to a minimum, and process that donation efficiently so that perishables get into the cooler or freezer as quickly as possible. Your food rescue team is here to support you during this transition, and we're always open to questions, comments, concerns, and feedback. Thank you in advance for following these protocols and for working together to safely feed our community.